Okay, so here with Vicky. She's going to be fighting at the upcoming Artemis promotion, which is going to be held up north in Belfast. She's going to be fighting Rachel. You're in the main event. You're for a title as well. This is, I wouldn't be as familiar with the K1 scene, but from what I've heard, this is a fight that you fought a lot of the same people. This is kind of a fight that's like been circling around, waiting to happen. It's finally happening. How, number one, thank you very much for your time and thank you for joining me. But how are you
Thanks for having
feeling
me.
about this fight?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Feel like I've been working and training hard all year, so I'm just ready to go. I'm really, really excited to fight Rachel. Like you said, we fought a lot of the same opponents, but we never had the opportunity to fight each other yet. So it's gonna be exciting.
And what a great show for it to happen on. Obviously, Mel has
Yeah.
created this platform, and I think it's fantastic. Neve O'Donoghue has done the similar down south. Um, how do you feel about this promotion and what Mel has done? Because even with the sparring day, there was like 80 people up at something like that, which is crazy. I didn't think there was even 80 people that were actively competing in the female
Yeah.
realm of things. How do you feel about this promotion and what Mel has kind of done for the female side of things?
I think it's brilliant. Like what Neve did as well, it was last year and the year before. That was amazing as well, the show that she had going. I found that as well. Like there's so many amazing females that you've never really seen fighting because they kind of, you know, there's not many of them. Like there's 20 male fights, two female fights, and if you miss one, you that's basically it, you know. Um, but no, I think it's brilliant. Like Mel as well, she's brilliant at organizing it. She's putting her heart and soul into it, and it's really showing now. Like she's showing me all the little bits that she's organized, the shorts, the bras, everything. Like she's thought of every single thing. So it's amazing that she's doing it, you know. And giving the amateur girls such a big chance to show their skills, like especially the younger girls who wouldn't actually get put onto amateur cards, you know, because they're too young or they're looking for amateurs rather than juniors or pros because they do get, yeah.
Yeah, see the likes of Rage, like see Emer Darcy and stuff, they would have competed on the shows. And like I said, the girls kind of coming in at the entry level wouldn't have got a chance. It was because obviously like Emer, she's gone on to Cage Warriors,
Yeah.
Rachel, who everyone would know around, and and I think you go back to something Neve actually said when I watched one of her interviews. She felt that the girls like not that she felt the girls' fights, they just put them on to get them out of the way, but they never really got the main stage. Where this show is all the main stage for
Mm-hmm.
all the females. And do you think this will help increase the uptake of combat sports from females because of shows like this?
100%. Like it's given first timers a big chance to give it a go and try fighting, you know. Like that's only going to encourage even more girls to try to give it a go as well. And I think like what Neve said is very true. There's like a certain stage. So if you get to a certain stage, you know, you get a lot of opportunities, but until you reach that stage, there's very little. It's kind of hard to progress as a female. So shows like this are going to be so important for younger generations and for new fighters to come through, you know.
Yeah, you can see the uptake in the female side of things
Mm,
nowadays, and you'd have to credit the likes of Danny McCormick, Shauna Bannon, kind of that Shauna's gone to the UFC. A lot of people look up to her, and you can see it. This will come. I say in a couple more years, you'll see people who look up to Shauna Bannon will come through, and it'll help. And shows like this definitely help because it gives you a platform to show off all your skills. Like I said, Mel has she's so many fights booked for this already. She actually has gone over what she thought she was going to have. Uh,
yeah.
so it's fantastic. But let's talk about you for a second. Obviously, you and Rachel are kind of at the top of the pile within the scene at the minute in your respective weight class. But where did it all start for Vicky? When did this start happening for you?
Will I go back to the very start?
Yeah, go back to the very back to the very start.
Back to the start. Okay, so I started judo when I was 5 or 6, and I competed in judo throughout my young ages. And my dream was always to become a professional athlete. Like I was, I fell in love with the sport. Um, and then over the years, it kind of became a little less possible. It was like that dream was kind of going with judo. Um, and when I was younger, I always used to look up to Ronda Rousey when she was kind of coming up when I was growing up,
Yeah.
and she was obviously a judo Olympian and in the UFC, and I was like, I really want to do this. So when stuff kind of started crashing with judo, I found KF, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go into MMA. But I actually fell in love with the striking so much that I just stuck to it for the past like 3 or 4 years now. Um, so yeah, now I'm here, and since I started fighting, I've just had the head down. Like I've fell in love with the training, I fell in love with the fighting, the emotions of it, the ups and the downs, and yeah, that's basically now I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long road. And you mentioned your team there. Team KF is a team I'm quite fond of. I see Chris at all the shows, and then obviously he's got other people. And what's it like being in that gym? Because I've heard him when people are fighting. Obviously he's one of the louder people, but it's because he knows what you're capable of, and you're not performing to the standards. It's like he knows that the work you've put in. But what's it like being in that gym? Because he said to me before, he doesn't want to train people to become fighters. He wants to train people to become world champions. What's it like
Yeah,
being in there with that mentality and people with that mentality, the same as yourself?
it's brilliant. Like Chris is one of the best coaches ever. Like he's so patient. He's so knowledgeable with the sport. I'm mostly just doing striking with him, but sometimes if I'm doing an MMA class, he knows his stuff so well. And that's it. He has that mentality of like training world champions. So it's you know world champions are built over time. It's not instant. And I think that's shown in the gym as well. It's like you keep learning, you go to training, you learn, you learn, you learn, you learn, and over time that knowledge is going to build up for you as well. Like he passes it on to you. But no, it's brilliant. Like now the lads are getting ready for Cage Warriors in Dublin. So that's the same night I'm fighting. So the mentality in the gym is actually so good. Like, everyone's in, getting their rounds in, everyone's kind of cutting the weight as well. So it's great. It's honestly, I'm so happy to be part of that gym. It's brilliant.
And what's it like? Like you said, they're getting ready for Cage Wars. Obviously, you're on a different show. What's the buzz like when there's a fight coming up and there's so many fighters competing? Because you do see it from a lot of gyms. There might be only one fighter from there, but with KF, they're usually fighting on like that. They've a couple of fighters. They've got obviously got you on a different show. What's the atmosphere of the buzz like? Is it just absolutely buzzing leading up to the fight?
It actually is like, even there on Friday, I had a double session and then the lads came in and they had sparring in the evening. And even just watching them, like the seriousness of it, and everyone's getting in there, getting their rounds in before the fights, before, you start to taper down for fight week. But like watching them and their commitment and how much they do, and it's so inspiring and it's motivating as well.
Yeah, yeah. You talked about the judo and obviously crossing over, and then you fell in love with the striking.
Yeah,
Obviously, judo is more throws and trips and stuff like that. What was it like getting punched in the face for the first time in training? And
I
then what
loved
made
it.
and then obviously that's what you fell in love with. And what people say is like when you feel pain, it's kind of one of the only emotions that you really feel, and you're just like, oh, like what was it about getting punched in the face that you like so much that you wanted to continue doing? If anyone else hears
Oh,
this, not from combat sports, this is probably the most bizarre conversation they're ever going to hear. But what was it about striking that you fell in love with?
I loved every single bit of it. Like I loved hitting pads. I fell in love with hitting pads. I fell in love with punching people. I fell in love with getting punched. I loved it. Like there was this stage where I was kind of like between 16 and I'd say 17, 18. I was a bit lost. I was falling out of judo and I didn't really know where I was going. Like I was in the gym and I was bored. And when I found striking, I was like, oh my God, these emotions, like, obviously you feel so many emotions walking out when you're fighting, but you kind of like start to feel that when you're training for the first time in the gym as well. And then I remember sparring for the first time and I was like, I'm so lost, like I don't know what to do except throw a 1 2 3 leg kick. But even then I was feeling so much adrenaline. Like I fell in love with every aspect of it, and I was just like, I was hungry for to keep learn. I just wanted to keep learning. Like I just wanted to learn and learn and learn as much as I can. So as well, when I started off, I was in college and I was kind of like struggling with money a little bit. So I figured, right, to pay for this membership, if I do more classes, it's going to turn out cheaper for the day. So I actually just trained as much as I could, and I was like, I'm getting my money's worth of this membership. So I was just hungry to keep learning, and then you start to feel fitter, you start to feel better in yourself. It's like a cycle.
Yeah, I get that as well. If you're going to pay for the unlimited membership, the full price, you might as well take advantage
Yeah.
of it. And I know what it's like being in college and having no money. It's absolutely zero crack. Um, but you were in judo for so long, and then obviously, like you said, you found KF. What was that like? Obviously, you'd competed before and you'd been in gyms before, but like even now, for like myself, if I change the job, there's like apprehension, nerves, and stuff like that. Was there
Mm,
any of that kind of going into the other gym, and especially
yeah.
like with people looking at MMA as like a male dominated area? Would like what was your kind of emotions going over? Was there any nervousness? Was there any of that? Talk to us about what was like changing over to KF.
Yeah. So like I was obviously very nervous going into the gym. Um, but I don't think I felt the nerves as much as I would have if I never did judo. Because judo is a male dominated sport as well. So I kind of grew up with, all the lads on the mat. Um, but stepping foot into KF, that was intimidating. Like that was scary. I had a friend who, it was the guy who I actually trained judo with, and he's the one who told me to come down, and he partnered up with me for a few weeks, which helped a lot. Like that was, I'm so grateful for him. But it was definitely nerve wracking, and it was definitely intimidating because, like you said, like you need to, there's new moves you need to learn. You're moving your body in a different way, and even in judo, your stance is opposite to what your stance would be in kickboxing. So even that was a bit of a change for me. But yeah, it was. I don't think it was as bad as if I didn't do judo. To step into the gym. Yeah,
Yeah, and as time goes on, because a lot of people like that. If I went to go to an MMA gym now, I'd find it kind of intimidating and stuff as well, being older, a little bit more out of shape than a lot of people there. But talk to us about when you get there, the community, because I think that not just MMA, but combat sports in general, because everyone goes for a reason and you leave your blood, sweat, and tears on the mats, is probably one of the best communities I've ever been involved with. Would you like, so if there was a female that wanted to join a female's class or something, what advice would you give them? Because it's a lot less intimidating than people would assume it to be, in my opinion.
yeah. Well, like the advice I give them is to always go for it. Like for me, it was such a big dream to go and punch people for some reason. So it was just self fulfilling to actually go and do it for myself. But I if a girl is thinking about it, I'm always encouraging them to go for it. Like it's so empowering, and like a lot of the time, yeah, there is a lot of ego on the map, but like I feel like the real professional fighters, they're the ones who are actually the most welcoming. They're the ones that don't have the ego. And once you get chatting to everyone, you start to realize that it's actually not that much of an intimidating place as you think. Everyone's only human there, and everyone's so nice, and they're so caring, and everyone wants to help each other. Like I think you start to notice that over the weeks or months or whatever you're training. But yeah, it can be intimidating, but I think everyone's in it together.
Yeah, and especially with KF, there's a huge family feel, as there is among most gyms.
Mm,
All gyms you'll hear them say we're family. KF's another one. Like I really, really like Chris, and I really like the talent that's coming out of it. Dom Norcus is someone who doesn't get enough shine. I think he's not very social media friendly as well, and I think that plays a big part in it. But you've got some really good people in the gym, and it's in a really good place right now. But you're going to be fighting Rachel. I believe this is an Oriental rules fight, isn't it? So it's slightly
yeah.
different. Explain to people, me as well, because I don't know what the difference is. What is the difference between a normal fight would have been for you towards an Oriental? Like, what are the differences in the rule sets?
Honestly, honestly, it's like I think so. There's a bit of a longer clinch rule. I know in the Oriental fights, I still need to read up on the rules on the rule set, but I think it's pretty similar to K1. There's just a bit of a longer clinch involved.
Yeah.
I know in K1 you can knee once and you have to let go. I think that rule's kind of gone in Oriental rules, so it's leaning more towards a Muay Thai kind of style. But yeah, I'm that's all I can tell you for now.
No, I don't think the differences are big because Mel did explain it to me, but obviously I'm not a good listener
Yeah.
because we don't know now. And I think that was one of the main things she said. With the clinch, you're able to get just one shot off before it's broken up, whereas
Yeah.
you have bit more time. Like I said, it leans a bit more towards Muay Thai. She said she was excited about it because like that, it makes it that little bit different and that little bit more exciting as well. For your preparation for the fight as well, would you look at Rachel and her style and would you get obsessed with it, or do you just kind of look at what she does good, say, right, I need to defend this, and then work on your own game plan rather than tailor to defending her game plan, let's say?
Do you know what? I used to watch my opponents fight, and now I kind of like I'll watch a few of their fights, but I try to stay away from it because I don't like it getting to my head a bit too much, and then you build up these expectations, and sometimes they don't even happen on the night. So what I do is I send my opponents to my coach. He reviews them and he makes a game plan, and then we work, on what he thinks needs to be worked on for the fight. Like I don't really like getting too obsessive over um working tailoring something towards an opponent. I feel like when you're professional, maybe it would make sense, but when you're amateur, anything can change, and K1 is so high paced as well. So like for this one, obviously we're working a bit more clinch and stuff like this. Um, but like I said, I kind of just keep away from that because I don't like getting too bogged down on my opponents in case it just gets to my mind a little bit.
Yeah, and I think you're better off focusing on yourself rather than someone else
Yeah,
because at this stage at amateur, I think it's essential in your development that you're able to develop a style. So when we know you go pro, this is the way you go. And like I said, when you go
yeah,
pro, fights, you obviously you're going to be getting paid and stuff. You're getting
yeah,
more money. It means a lot more. Whereas no one will really remember your amateur record except for you and a couple of select people. When it gets to
exactly.
pro,
Yeah,
you need to be a bit more games that like that. Not completely tailored, but you have to be a little bit
yeah,
more cautious. But it's going to be a fantastic fight. I'm really looking to show. I will be at the show as well. It's going
yeah.
to be up in Dublin. Oh, not up in Dublin. I'm traveling from Dublin
Belfast.
to Belfast. Um, is there anything I'm going to let you go. Is there anything you want to say before you go, or anyone who shout out? I want to thank you again for your time. I'm looking forward to being there in person to see you fight because we met you at the media day last week, which was a bit of crack as
Yeah.
well. You don't see a lot of that going on for the show, so fair play to Mel. But like I said, anything you want to say before you go, or anyone who want to shout out?
I just want to say thank you for having me, and a big thank you to all my sponsors as well. I have an amazing S&C coach, Rory O'Connor, and Kevin Hendrick, who takes care of my body, and obviously everyone in Team KF. But no, thank you so much for having me, and thanks to all my sponsors as well. Yeah,
Perfect. Thank you very much. I will see you. I want to say it's 2 weeks out now. Is it 2 weeks out?
yeah,
Just under 2 weeks out. I will see you there. It'll be a pleasure to watch you fight live. You're going to be the main event. It's going to be a really, really good card. I think there's tickets still available. I don't know if you have some personally.
yeah.
If your
I
friends
actually
or
have,
family go to
yeah, I
you,
have last 10 golden tickets left. So if anyone needs any, just give me a shout as well for them.
yeah.
Yeah,
And if
because I know
there's
there's limited.
yes,
Sorry,
it's
go on.
limited. It's actually after selling really. I've talked to Mel and she said the sales has gone really well, but there is tickets. So if there's people like that that aren't maybe affiliated with you, contact the page. There'll be tickets there as well. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very good show. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me. Enjoy your Sunday.
I will. I will have two more interviews after this. So.
Busy man.